I decided to apply this scientific way of thinking to my personal situation. Why is it that whenever I try to breach the boundaries of my comfort zone, I crumble? What makes me hide when things don't go my way? What is this feeling of resistance that arises when I try to push forward with the things I really want? By going through the basics of how we think the brain works and reviewing new neuroscience and psychology-based research, I started to see potential reasons for my setbacks, and it was enlightening. Not only was science helping me get a grasp on these queries, but it presented me with ideas for how to keep on keeping on. Using what is currently understood about the brain and the way we behave, I came up with and adapted methods that should enable making achieving goals easier, which helped me make strides towards targets that felt unreachable before. And these methods are exactly what I am sharing with you in this audiobook. At present, you likely have contrasting ideas about your goals. On the one hand, there is that little voice in your head telling you how capable you are, and on the other, you sense a deep resistance to breaking the status quo you've settled into, like a constant tug of war between wanting to change versus your ingrained routines and habitual behaviours. And 9 times out of 10, those strong, deep-rooted defaults win. This manifests as ordering the pizza after promising to eat healthy food, snoozing the 7 a.m. alarm and skipping the gym after vowing to work out every morning, stopping content creation after making a pact to persist, or scrolling through social media when sat with loved ones despite claiming to give your full attention to those around you. It isn't that we don't want to change, it is just that the power of our brain's intention over how we spend our time is underestimated. Every day we are interpreting and assigning meaning to ongoing events in the world via our individually tailored brain networks. Shaped by our genetics and lived experiences, these networks provide us with options for how to respond and react to the situations we face, and altering our responses often requires conscious redirection. How the brain is constructed means we rarely approach any situation with fresh eyes. We pass new information through our bank of past knowledge to find an appropriate reaction or feeling that has served similar situations in the past. This can lead to repetitive behavioural patterns, thoughts, and emotional responses as the brain attempts to use what it's already stored to solve the problems we are facing. Although we like to feel in complete control of how we act, rapid automatic-like defaults can influence outcomes, and these strong yet near-silent instructions present a huge hindrance to our ability to change. When it comes to change, our brains are hypocrites. Like that person who outwardly claims they haven't done any studying for an exam while beavering away behind closed doors, our brains may act like they hate change, but they are constantly evolving. Our brain's internal wiring is not fixed, and everyday experiences, events, and interactions can alter its connections. However, when trying to make significant lifestyle or behaviour changes, the brain appears to resist, acting as if it is incapable of truly altering its ways. Persistence and passion can break through this facade, but only if we give them a proper shot. A mistake many of us make in pursuit of our goals is too much too soon. When riding the highs of the motivation wave that can accompany the initial stage of our quest for change, we think we can do it all. We set our morning alarms 2 hours earlier, eat 30 types of fruit and veg in a week, work 50 hours on our side project, or give up our evenings to study, all at the same time. Trying to get the brain to deviate so much from its norm in one go is a challenge. If goal pursuit is like trying to make a toddler eat vegetables, many of us stick a huge plate of greens in front of the child, remove everything else they know from the menu, and expect them to tuck in happily. How do you think a toddler would respond in this situation? Most likely, they would kick, scream, throw, and cry until you have no choice but to feed them what they want. Lots of change all at once is a recipe for defeat. Instead of giving our brain a plate piled high with unfamiliars and unknowns, a more effective means of getting it to eat up is a little and often approach. If we want a toddler...